Okay, today is March 5th, 2014. Let's take a quick review of the stock that I've been watching. The first one is Morgan Stanley. We'll talk about Morgan Stanley yesterday. And there's a follow through today. So didn't get in yesterday, but there was a trigger right there. It's confirmation once you get in on that. So right now it seems like it's coming up, to this resistance here, possibly, essentially getting back into this gap area here. Although we normally talk about gap fill on the the most right hand side of the chart here on this last retracement, but you can see that it's coming down. So these could potentially still present some resistance here. So we're talking about somewhere around this 32.20. And then we look at Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, is making a move here. Right now, it's coming up, possibly get up to this 175. We've seen that 175 level for quite a while, way back then. Right here on the left side here, we won't scroll back on there. But right now, we're essentially looking at Goldman Sachs to come up and possibly test this 175 and then see if it break through again. Then maybe we could see it to come back up on this 181, 182. BFA, we mentioned about BFA yesterday, got in at the close. Today gapped up, was trying to add, but didn't pull back, so didn't add. Gonna wait. Luckily, I did get in at the close, so I got a little position there. So at least I reaped some of the benefit on the upside. Right now, we're basically looking at possibly come up to test its particular high here, somewhere around that 1745, 1750. General Motor, again, General Motor was kind of moving along yesterday and come up and fill this gap. Well, essentially it moved above this gap. So it got a little bit of a spinning top, but it's still good. Maybe get a little consolidation here. Possibly then it move up here to this area somewhere around this 39 area up at this particular pivot here. Then Ford Motor I did get in. When it went right through here, because today the was kind of orderly on this. Basically, let me show you the intraday chart here. The 1550 is right here. So essentially, when it get to this 1550 and near the close, I mean not near the close, but come up and then come back down. So essentially, when it bounces off the 1550, then I look for entry right here. So got some Ford motor in that. Then we also look at Micron, semiconductor stock, like I said, is one of the strongest. It came down, held the support on this trend line here. Essentially, you got a little price channel here. And if you want to play the Fibonacci level, see what the Fib trader is looking at. And you can see this somewhere around 127, 60, 26 and a half, 27, 27 and a half or so. So you could play it up potentially up to the upper trend line of this price channel. Got in on some over here when it pulled back a little bit. So and HIMX I haven't got in yet, but essentially got in here if you want to be a little bit aggressive. Because it did close above this baseline here, and it could get in near the close. But tomorrow, if it come up and move above the maybe the close or the open of today's open, then you might want to take a look at potential entry level. Maybe some kind of trigger on the intraday basis, and then play it up here. If you really want to be conservative, you could wait until it come up here and play the baseline up here on a breakout. So, but it's all depend how it get up there. If it come up real soon, real quickly, I mean, then you might not want to take that and let it break out and then come back to do a little bit of a consolidation. Then you want to get in. But if it's kind of slowly work itself up and then maybe consolidate up here. Then if we get in here, you could scale out some and maybe if it does pull back a little bit, then you could go back in. So there's a lot of different way to play it. When we get there, we'll take a look at it, but I'll be watching it. So this all depends how you want to play it. Then Blackberry, we saw this little candle yesterday. Definitely, wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of consolidation because it had heck of a run and it pulled back on a little bull flag here. So right now we're basically looking for this trend line to hold because here's that little pivot right here, right? Because we're essentially looking at this particular pivot off of this, this right here, this sort of like a double bottom here. Okay, so. And if it could clear this, then we're looking at maybe possibly get up here. And the other one is JC Penney. JC Penney is pull back a little bit. If it could hold this gap, I think it will go. Essentially, we're still talking about, remember, the potential resistance from this trend line here. So if it breaks this trend line, then we could talk about getting up to this 912. Then depending how it react up here, then we could look at it and talk about this 1033 or whatever. But, let's take a step at a time. Don't want to get ahead of our game. Then on AMD still hovering. It seems like it's want to try to get up here, and it'd be interesting to see when it get up to this 375, 377. But right now, just kind of test your patience. Certainly testing mine. So YHOO, went up. Today got a little bit of a reversal, spinning top candle. So got to be aware of that. Maybe in the coming day it could pull back a little bit and kind of shake some of these weak hand out, might dipping below this low pivot that it broke to. So don't be surprised, but depending how much of a conviction you have and where you put your stop. So adhere to your stop. It could reverse quickly because we are looking at this possibility as well, right? So you got this trend line here. Although we're essentially looking at this resistance up here, one of the next target, and maybe up here later on after you get to here. So it could get a little bit of a push up there tomorrow. Then maybe it come back down or something. So you got to be aware of that possible scenario. And then we're looking at the HP. HP is still hovering at that 30, still trying to break out of the 30, which is good. The more it consolidate here, when it breaks, it probably will run. But you don't want to sit here too long, then it might break down. So there's that, the risk and reward. So we just have to pay attention to that. And then Apple, we're talking about Apple. You could get a quick trade here, essentially up at this pivot here. We're talking about this particular pivot. If you want to, trade on the trigger off of this pivot, then you essentially want to just play it up to this, this particular trend line here for potential resistance, and that would be your potential target as well for this quick trade. Then if you could, bear the pain, and if it run to, then we might be looking at to come back up at this, 545, 550 area. Then Amazon was kind of interesting. I haven't talked about Amazon a little bit. Again, we're talking about these little pullback, right? These little pullback breakout, and essentially that's what we're seeing. So right now we essentially want to look at it to see would it get in and fill this gap. And if it could fill this gap here, then maybe somewhere up in this area, then we could easily get into try to put in another new all-time high for Amazon. But right now, essentially, we just want to see kind of get up here. If it could break to this particular level here, then there's a good possibility that it might work itself up to fill this gap. But if it's have a difficulty on doing that, then look for it to retrace, because you could play these Fibonacci level a couple different ways. If you look at it this way here, essentially to come up to the 50% retracement. So, maybe you get up to this 618 and possibly get up to this 78.6 on the gap fill. But then you could also do this if you want to play these bigger retracement. Then it came down here to the 38.2. Then you might want to play this, maybe a possibility of getting back up to this 100% and possibly even get into breaking out of this all-time high and get up to this 439 at the 127. So, there's a lot of subjectivity there, so, depending with where you want to place your Fibonacci retracement, but nothing is, for certain, right, on this trading game. So just use your discretion and whatever is comfortable for you. Then we'll look at Facebook. Facebook, once again, basically I'm looking at this price channel here, and anyone this price channel, how quickly it come up, I expect it to encounter some resistance on this price channel and pull back. if people are looking at playing these Fibonacci retracement, if they're looking at the 76 or 77 level, time-wise, it's going to be a little bit, maybe a week or so. If it will contain itself within this price channel, if it breaks through this price channel, then it's basically just going straight up. Then that would be changing a characteristic of this price pattern. Then we need to go reassess of the longevity of this this move, this upward move. So anything is possible. It's again, play whatever's in front of you, and just trade according to the price. And don't try to guess too much or try to use your predictive power to predict too many things. Twitter, I'm not a fan of Twitter right now, okay, because I've been looking at Twitter and I said you have to get above this 57. Even though it got it up here and it can hold at 57, and I said you have to get above this particular pivot level here in order to even consider about filling this gap. Just because you get into this gap zone here doesn't mean it's going to fill this gap. And right now you can see this sort of breaking down, and I'm looking at it sort of like an H pattern, because you see this 20 EMA is coming down. And also this is a 50-day, so it's also kind of rolling over a little bit. And essentially, I'm looking at this sort of H pattern here. If it breaks this 50 level, then I'm basically looking at its retracement using the Fibonacci retracement. And you can see some of these levels that it could retrace back down. Essentially, we are talking about this 127 minus 127.45, which is somewhere around this particular baseline here. Right? And if it can't hold that, this is 141 and then 1618. Then essentially we're coming back down to the IPO low. So there's that possibility. So you have to be aware of that. If you want to play on the upside, I would suggest that you wait until it could, at least get back up to this level here. Get back above here. Okay. Then essentially what we could do is to, try to get a fib line going this way and then see where we could go with that possibility, because here's that 50% retracement. So if we could come back up to this 50% retracement, then maybe it could work itself up to this 78.6. At least get to this retracement zone, then see what is the price pattern, and maybe we'll set up another fib line using this swing, and then see could we get it back up here. So right now, I don't have a position on it, and I'm not trading this this trader. But if I were to enter a trade, definitely it wouldn't be on the long side. But the market is up, so you don't want to trade against the market. Why don't you just go and trade along? There's a lot of good pick for trading the long side. Why you have to go and short this guy, right? So unless there's a compelling reason to go long on this thing, then you go long. But definitely, I'm not going to short this. I would rather just play along with the trend of the market, which is up. So look for the stock to go long. Don't go and try to counter trend trade and look for stock to short. Okay, good luck.